Welcome inside the Coach's Den here at Swiss Mountain Village Resort. I'm Mackie Gallagher, the play-by-play voice for the High Country Grizzlies, joined with, as always, Coach Scott Meserve. And Coach, the final score of the game was 86-12. Not really the outlook anybody or the outcome anybody really wanted, but there were some positive things that came out of the game. A touchdown catch by Edward Sauce Victorian, Scooby Jerron Bryant, Ethan Farmer had the game of his life, as you said. So Edward Sauce Victorian, he told me after the first game that I will be seeing him in the touchdown as the season went on. And indeed, he did score the first touchdown of the game for the Grizzlies. Can you just describe how Sauce is progressing on the team and just his presence on the team for the Grizzlies?
Both Sauce and AC have taken the leadership role with the receiving core. They've stepped up. It's great to have the balance between both of them, between the high motion and setting the low routes. They're a great combination to have.
And both Scooby's touchdown and Edward Sauce Victorian's touchdown was in great coverage by the defense. Both of them were double covered. Is that something y'all have been practicing throughout the week before the game? Is tightly contested catches?
It was kind of funny because of the fact that that was the only time they were double covered all game. They were running free the entire game down the field. We just couldn't get the ball to them.
And AC had a couple good catches. Can you talk about AC? You said he's another leader on this Grizzlies football team.
AC had one catch on the wall. He took a shot, but he's that reliable receiver, just like Sauce is. Whenever we need that ball caught now, we're looking for those two. And adding Scooby into the mix, we have three dynamic receivers right now.
And I want to talk about Scooby a little bit. He had a touchdown catch in the first game against the Richmond Rough Riders. Can you talk about a little bit of his background? Because I understand he was on the team some last year. Can you talk about how good he is for this Grizzlies team? Because we talked about Sauce and AC, how they are the two leaders on this team, or two of the many leaders on this team. But then Scooby's coming in getting a lot of touchdowns for this Grizzlies.
Scooby's a different character because Scooby can play jack, safety, receiver, and also long snap. So he's vital for the entire team. And he brings that attitude of the carefree, great athlete, and do whatever the team wants to do. And that's the type of guys I'm looking for. I mean, after the touchdown, he runs and does 5 backflips and across the field. And he just brings the fans into the game, and everyone feeds off of him. He's a vital part of our receiving core.
Now, did he play any defense earlier on in his career? Because I understand that he plays both ways. You had him at multiple positions against the game last week.
He has, here and there, played jack linebacker. We were in a need due to an injury, and I threw him in last week a little bit, and I put him in this week. So he can play wherever. He's that talented.
And Ethan Farmer had a lot of big stops. He also came in and played some offensive line. Can you talk about Ethan Farmer's contributions to the team last Saturday?
Ethan Farmer has stepped up amazing this year. We had a long talk in the offseason about that. I asked him to play center in pregame. I had heard he played at UNC. He came in, and he was that guy I needed to go to at the end when we couldn't get a snap. And he did everything I asked. We're down 65 points, and he's still coming off the edge trying to block extra points. He's not going to quit this year.
And can you just talk about, when we talk about not quitting this year, can you just talk about the mentality your team had? Although it was a big score difference, you don't want a game to end the way it did. But since the game was happening, can you just talk about the mentality your players had? What on the sideline, were they still helping each other out? Were they giving their 100% effort? Because a lot of teams don't when they are down by that many points.
These guys are different. We've talked about the brotherhood the entire time. I don't deal with finger pointing. I'm going to address you face to face immediately. If I see the finger pointing, I'm going to send you home. And what happened prior to the game was a big problem. I knew it was going to happen. We lost 3 linemen in 72 hours prior to the game. I knew we were in a situation, thought maybe we'd get by with it, but it didn't happen that way. But they, pre-game, during the game, and after the game, we all stayed as one, and I'm going to fix this to get us right.
Now, for the offensive lineman that you lost, was some of that due to injury?
Will Dancy got a hamstring pull on Wednesday. Lawrence Keys got a really good offer to go play with the Arizona Rattlers. And Robert Kearney had some family issues at home. So I lost 3 linemen in 72 hours prior to the game. I signed Sheldon Stadler, who informed me yesterday he's getting called up to the Philadelphia Soul, and brought in Jordan Farrow, who did well, and now we're trying to put the pieces around Farrow and build it from here.
And you're going into a bye week this week. Your next game isn't until April 14. Do you think this is a good time for the bye week in the season?
This is perfect for us because I'm sending everybody home. I don't want to see them the rest of the week. We practiced last night, had a good practice. I told them last night, go home, clear your heads, come back Sunday, and we're going to regroup, and I'll have more guys here to assist us in what we need to do.
Now, your last game was supposed to be a home game against the Florida Tarpons here in Boone, North Carolina at Holmes Convocation Center, but it was canceled, unfortunately, due to inclement weather. How did that throw off the scheduling with your team, kind of throw off the mojo or the mentality they already had for that game day, and then all of a sudden it getting canceled?
Thank goodness it got canceled because I was stuck in my driveway with 6 inches of snow. I couldn't get out. It changes everybody. It changes coaches too, because now we have to regroup and refocus on the next team, even though we were focused so much on that Florida game. That Sunday I had to flip gears and go back, okay, now we got to get Cape Fear, and we did have inclement weather that week as well. We missed a day of practice, and then the practice schedule's been messed up. I've told my guys, I don't care where we practice, we're going to practice 7 to 9 from now on. I'm not going late, I'm not going any other time. We know we're going to practice from 7 to 9 from here on out so we can get on a schedule.
Okay, so I'm assuming throughout the season before this game, there was a lot of fluctuation between the scheduling of your practices at night.
We would go 8 to 10. Sometimes it would be 11 o'clock at night to 1 in the morning. It was, the guys didn't have a schedule. And I've changed that in the past 2 days and informed everyone what we're doing, and I will make it work.
And your fullback, D. Barry, he is improving. He was a converted defensive lineman from last year. Now he's playing fullback for the Grizzlies. He also plays both ways some. Can you talk about his game last week? Because he had some trouble getting the running game started in the first game against the Rough Riders. But I understand the last week he did a great job on both ends of the ball.
D. Barry played Mac linebacker, defensive end, fullback for me this past weekend. Those are the guys I'm looking for. I want guys who can play multiple positions. If you come in and tell me you can only play one position, I'm going to send you home. D. Barry's another leader on this team with the Brandon Suttons, the Ethan Farmers, the Sauce, AC. All those guys are my leaders.
All right. Sounds good. We'll be right back inside the coaches den here at Swiss Mountain Village Resort.
Fitness and offensive line coach for the High Country Grizzlies.
And I'm Dexter Jackson, wide receiver for the High Country Grizzlies and personal fitness trainer.
We have a new, larger facility with 24/7 access.
Within our training program, we provide a focus on your personal goals for a healthier lifestyle and create customizable training programs.
Come in for a free consultation and get a fitness plan tailored just for you.
Come join us at Anytime Fitness Room.
Joe made fresh daily.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, 100% mozzarella. Kids are going to love these Hungry Howie's emojis. Hashtag sauce 'em.
The best part is they're edible.
They're edible? How's that?
Hey, get a meal deal for any budget. Or get a medium one-topping pizza for $1 with coupon code MEDIUM1.
Hungry?
Welcome back inside the Coaches Den with head coach Scott Meserve. I'm Mackie Gallagher here at Swiss Mountain Village Resort. And coach, final score 86-12. Like I said before, not the outcome any Grizzlies fan or Grizzlies organization member wanted. A lot of turnovers in the game on offense for the Grizzlies. Just what happened?
Losing 3 linemen on Thursday absolutely killed me. Going into the game, I thought the offensive line coach had it straightened out, and the first snap of pregame we couldn't get. The second snap we couldn't get. And I looked at Coach Foster and I said, I thought this was taken care of. As you know, quarterbacks, if they don't have their center, or the kickers don't have their T's, we're in trouble. So we adjusted during pregame. We went in the locker room before the game started and made some adjustments. We rolled with what we thought was going to happen. But I believe we had 8 snaps that ended up in touchdowns. Either 10 or 11 turnovers total. They had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. They had an interception return for a touchdown. We couldn't get a snap. In a game of football, if the center doesn't exchange the ball with the quarterback, we're done. And that's what happened.
And I saw midway through the second quarter, Darren Daniel actually went out and Dom Hobdy came in at the quarterback position for the Grizzlies. What played into that decision for you?
Darren suffered a major hit. We were worried about a concussion. We took him out of the game. He's under concussion protocol now. Dom came in, did what he could. He fumbled his first 3 snaps. He ended up hurting his foot and possible concussion as well. So right now, thank goodness it's a bye week because both my quarterbacks have concussion protocol right now.
And when you're watching the film, Dom Hobdy, that was some of the best offense of the game was when he got in the open field running. Do you know if he played any sort of running position early on in his career? Because he was out there juking out a lot of defenders.
He was an option quarterback. When we brought him in the film I saw on him, he ran some option in the outdoor fields. But the guys I want at quarterback, I want to be able to take off and go at any point. Darren just didn't stand a chance. He couldn't get the snap. Dom actually started getting snaps. Once we brought Ethan Farmer in, we started getting snaps, completion balls, and we were good. But we had to do that whole process. Ethan hasn't played center in 5-6 years, and he stepped up and was a leader for me.
And there was one kickoff return where Alex Coleman caught the kickoff at the back of the end zone and ran it out. And he juggled it a little bit at the beginning, and then he got down at the 2-yard line. It wasn't a great return. Do your kickoff returners have a green light, or do you just allow them to use their discretion while playing on the field?
I want a touchdown every time. They have a green light to go. So between AC and Scooby, those are my 2 returners. Catch the ball, go. I'll set the blocking schemes for them, get them out, but all my returners have a green light to go. I want a touchdown every time.
So did a lot of injuries play into how just the score ended up for this game? Just a lot of last minute adjustments you had to make before the game started with the linemen, and then later on in the game, Darren Daniel and Dom Hobdy going out with possible concussions?
I talked to several people this past week and explained to them what happened in game 1 where I lost Brandon Sutton and Chase Blackburn, my whole middle of my defense. And then I come to this next game and I lose my 3 offensive line prior to the game. Then I lose my quarterback in the second quarter. Then I lose my other quarterback in the third quarter. And the people I'm speaking with, like, Coach, how are you doing? You're a first-year head coach going through all this, but you're still pushing, you're still grinding. I said, well, I still got guys coming. Guys want to come be part of the Grizzlies, and we will turn this thing around real fast.
And that's the mindset of this High Country Grizzlies team, is no matter what is thrown at you, you never stop. We'll be right back inside the coach's den here at Swiss Mountain Village Resort.
I've coached a lot of football games in my life. The one at Michigan was big for us. When I took that short ride on the shoulders of our team, we knew that we'd done something really, really special. The hard work and dedication and commitment that nobody sees is what leads to great victories. That's the same thing you'll get at Discovery Chevrolet. That's the reason I agreed to be their spokesman. Discovery Chevrolet is where relationships matter.
So, how's retirement? Staying pretty busy, actually. Busy? Busy.
Honey, look.
Number 18 in the house.
Gets the same thing every time.
You know I can hear you, right? You know I can hear you, right? I'll be here all week. For your many retirement needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Step away from the exercycle and step outside yourself in Boone, North Carolina.
Welcome back inside the Coach's Den here at Swiss Mountain Village Resort. I'm Mackie Gallagher, joined by head coach Scott Meserve. And we talked about the offense, we talked about the game overall, but now I want to focus on the defense a little bit. You said how Ethan Farmer had a great game for you on the defensive line and on the other end of the ball, playing center for the first time, like you said, in 5 or 6 years since he played at UNC Chapel Hill. But now I want to talk about the defense now. In the first game and in this game, there were some instances of miscommunication from the defensive backs, a lot of open receivers, a lot of open touchdowns. Is this defensive back group a young group on this team?
Valentine, Ja Valentine is a vet. He plays one of my corners. Sean Potts has experience, and so does Lynn Williams. Gerard Holloman is my guy who runs the defense. He's from the Jack linebacker. Gerard has a lot of experience. He was in the Steelers camp. He's basically my leader in the secondary. We're trying to bring in more guys to help out and assist us. We blew a couple coverages early. They didn't catch it. For example, in a certain coverage we have on the high motion coming down, we can't allow inside release, and we were allowing the inside release. We worked on that in practice yesterday. We worked on man coverage yesterday. We ran man coverage a couple times, not much this game. In the first game, we ran a lot of it. Just trying to mix it up between 2 high, 3 high, 1 high, and the coverages. But we're trying to get some guys in. We brought in 2 DBs last night to push these guys we have so they're not comfortable.
And I noticed on some of the film, when the receiver came in motion, some of the defensive backs had trouble knowing who was to cover him. Although there was some mistakes in the backfield for your defense, what were some of the good things that you saw throughout the game against the Cape Fear Heroes on defense?
After we got to the first quarter, we were pretty much in tune with what we were doing. We blew 1 coverage early for a post in the middle of the field. That was due to an inside release. Once we got the once Gerard got control of the defense early on, we were okay, but then I got in trouble with, I had to put Barry back at defensive end, so I had to bring Scooby in to play the Mac Jack position. Well, Scooby hadn't practiced that this week, so there was one play where they hit the wall route right away, and I knew Scooby had to be there, but I hadn't coached him on it this week. Scooby, being an athlete he was, chased the guy down, caused a fumble, and recovered the fumble.
And can you talk about your defensive front? Because we talked about on the last coach's show, on the last Inside the Coach's Den, about Brandon Sutton's injury. But with Ethan Farmer on the front line for the defense, how are these other defensive linemen complimenting Ethan Farmer?
We brought 2 in last night. We're going to work with them again today to solidify our defensive front. But losing someone like Sutton is huge. Everyone in the league knows Sutton. Ethan and D. Berry were my 2 anchors last night. I rolled 2 or 3 guys in during the game at nose. Still wasn't happy with what I saw. So we're trying to bring in another nose guard. I've been in touch with 2 others, plus the 2 guys I brought in last night. Try to help out Ethan, get some pressure off of him and D. Berry so I can start playing some more games up front.
Now, are you thinking about making some different moves at the center position? Because bad snap seems to be the story of this game. And if the center can't get the ball to the quarterback, then you're going to have no offense. You have the Carolina Energy coming up in a few weeks. Are you going to be preparing any differently for this game, especially when it comes to your center and quarterback?
Will Dancy will be under rehab, so hopefully he'll be back. He'll be a day-to-day next week for being in the center position. I brought 2 centers in last night. One's local, down from Morganton, and then we have another one as well. So I will go into this game with at least 2 centers, so this does not happen again, so everyone is comfortable with what's going on.
And do you know when we will get word where we can tell the Grizzlies fans about the potential injuries to Dom Hovde and Darren Daniel? Because I know it's going to be a lot of things on the High Country's radar, especially pertaining to their injuries.
I'm not sure. Concussion protocol is something that I don't play with. My trainer manages the concussions. I'm not going to play with a player's brain. That's one thing my trainer is going to let me know. Once he's symptom-free, then he has 6 days to the process to come back, but I am not going to do anything with them until I get the clearance from my trainer on them.
Now, can you talk a little bit about the interaction you had with Daniel, when I'm sure when you went out on the field when he was down, did he seem okay or did he seem a little bit out? Was it kind of clear that he was a little bit out of it?
He was out of it. We knew right away he was out of it, and we got him off the field as fast as possible.
That was a good decision on your part. And same thing with Dom Hobbs. I know he hurt his foot, but then he also has a potential concussion.
Yeah, the two plays at the left sideline where he scrambled, he took a shot at the second one, and that's when we knew that we had to get him out. Ricardo Johnson came in and finished the game at quarterback, doing the best that he could. He only took minimum reps last week. But as a coach in arena ball, you don't plan on losing 2 quarterbacks in one game. If you lose one, okay, I've got a second one back up. But when you lose 2 in your offensive line, you're just hanging on.
Now, how was the rest of the team after Dom Hobbs came out with the injury? Because like you just said, that had to be a low blow. You don't really know what to do in that situation. How were Daniel and Dom Hobbs' teammates when they both came out with an injury?
They were concerned about them, making sure they were okay. But like I told the guys on the sideline, we have to finish the game. We just can't stop now. It's just like life. You can't stop. You just got to keep going. All the adversity you deal with, we talk about adversity every day in practice and games. You don't know what's going to happen day to day. You just deal with adversity.
Now, after this game in the locker room, is that pretty much what you just told your team? Is just saying bad games happen, we just have to move on?
It's not so much bad games. It's more that you can't foresee what happened. And I told the guys, rely on me, I'll take care of it. Me and Coach Foster will take care of the situation. We'll get guys in to surround the guys we have. If we had a snap, we would have been fine. We had guys running down the field all night long. JR, their free safety, came to me and said, Coach, you're smoking me every play. You just can't get the ball off. I said, I know. I just got to get a snap, and I'm going to beat you every night. I said, but we couldn't get a snap. So I knew most of the Cape Fear guys because I coached there 4 years ago. So it was kind of good to see them, but not good to see them.
I understand. Well, we'll be right back with more Inside the Coach's Den right here at Swiss Mountain Village Resort.
Here at Blackjack, we were voted the best burger in town 3 years in a row. Our story started with, we left Romania, it was a communist country, and we had to cross the Danube River on an inflatable boat. Me and my mother was in a boat. I had to swim across, actually. I lived in California since '91 until about 4 years ago when I came here to help her run this restaurant, and like I said, I'm carrying on her legacy. I think we have the best burger, but I want you to come out here and give us a try and let me know what you think.
Welcome back inside the Coach's Den here at Swiss Mountain Village Resort. Mackie Gallagher here with head coach Scott Meserve, and the story of this game has been losing players to injury or just players coming out of the game early with injury. But also players are getting potentially called up into the arena football. Can you talk about some of those players as well?
Josh Victorian got called up last week to the Albany Empire. He's going to be with them. Kareem Smith is in between 2 AFL teams right now. If that doesn't work out, he may come back here. But I've opened a door for him. If he doesn't get that offer, go. Lawrence Keys last week got an offer from the Arizona Rattlers that we couldn't match. It was a phenomenal to go out there as a rookie. So we lost him Thursday. And then Sheldon Sadler, after the game Saturday night, offensive lineman, informed me that he got called up by he was going to the Philadelphia Soul this coming weekend. So that's 4 guys we put up, different places. And that's what our goal is, to get these guys up to the next level so they get a shot either at the AFL 1, CFL, or possibly get a tryout with the NFL team.
Now, it must be bittersweet for a first-year head coach like you. You get to see your players move up in their career, move up in the ranks, but also at the time of the season to where you lost a lot of guys. What do you say to these players when they come up and tell you that they're getting called up or they might be getting called up?
That's one of the things I tell them when I sign them, that if they get an offer, go. I'll make do what I got to do because I just adjust to adversity. It looks great for us as an organization that we have that type of caliber athletes coming in here and moving. The guys at Cape Fear, that's all I could talk about, was how we were putting guys at the next level. All the eyes are on us to see what happens, how we adjust from this adversity this past week, losing guys, putting guys up, it's all on me right now.
And you said you used to coach. You used to coach with the Cape here. You worked with some of those guys. Can you talk about how it is going into the arena and seeing them while you're on another team coaching against them? Is it a friendly side, or is it kind of we're going to be enemies for this 2 hours of game time, and then after the game we can go back to being friends? How is your relationship with the Cape Fear guys?
Jamal and Silu and JR, I've kept in touch with them over the past 4 years, so we're really good friends. And to the point where Jamal sent me a video he made a highlight of the game, and he was actually hugging my wife down the end zone. So they're all family to me. I mean, when we play the game, we're always against each other. But after the game, before the game, we're all family. And that's how it is. Even after the season, these guys move on. Like, I keep in touch with Josh Victorian every other day, talking to him, see how he's doing. I talked to Kareem. I actually texted Keys this morning on the way here. It's more of a, I guess I'm a player's coach. I care more about my players and make sure they're okay and getting them. I've been coaching for 27 years. I've done almost everything, but I want to see these guys get their goals accomplished.
And in my opinion, that's what I like to see coming out of head coaches. And I remember I talked to Darren Daniel, Alex Coleman, and Brandon Sutton in the High Country Grizzlies media day before the season even started, and they alluded to how arena football is just kind of a family sport. I remember Brandon Sutton said that you either played or played against with pretty much everybody in arena football at one point. So talk about playing with people. I want to start previewing the Carolina Energy a little bit. What are you seeing from them? Who are some players that stand out that may be cause for concern for your upcoming game on April 14th?
They've signed, I don't know if, I believe he's at center. He might be a nose guard, the starting center from the Vermont Bucks. He is a phenomenal lineman. He's one of our key figures we're keeping our eye on. They have several receivers as well. The main man is David Washington. David played for us last year against Jacksonville. He's from ODU. Actually graduated from Southeast Valley High School. He's the guy we got to watch. He's a phenomenal athlete. He'll take off and go. Wish he was back here, but he had signed with the Reapers early on, and when the Reapers folded, he jumped down to Carolina before I knew what happened. But David's athletic ability is what we're really focused on defensively. Offensively, fix the offensive line, and we'll be okay. And we'll get the ball to Victorian and AC and Scooby and get the ball out there.
Now, can you talk about how David Washington did on the Grizzlies? I understand they played the last game of the season against the Jacksonville Sharks. Can you just talk about his playmaking ability when he was here on the Grizzlies to kind of let the fans at home understand how much of a weapon he can be for the Energy offense?
When he was at Old Dominion University, he ran the veer option out of shotgun, so he can go. He can take off and go at any point. ODU has a great coaching staff up there, a phenomenal quarterbacks coach. He's been taught very well. He can read the defense, and now he's got a couple games experience underneath his belt in the arena. Makes him that much more of an athlete and more of a weapon that Carolina has.
Well, the High Country Grizzlies have started off their season 0-2. They're going into a bye week, probably the best time of the season for the bye week. And then they will resume play April 14th in Charlotte against the Carolina Energy. For head coach Scott Meserve, I'm Mackie Gallagher. Thank you for watching another episode of Inside the Coach's Den here at Swiss Mountain Village.
How can something be so close to everywhere you want to be, but also possess the peace and quiet you desire in a true Appalachian mountain setting? That's what you'll find at Swiss Mountain Village, nestled in a tranquil valley just off the Blue Ridge Parkway and very close to downtown Blowing Rock. For over 35 years, Swiss Mountain Village has been a haven for high country guests and families, a place where the relaxing is easy, a place where you can fish from the fully stocked trout lake or just rock your cares away on the front porch. Then, when it's time for high country activities, you are close to everything. Swiss Mountain Village is only just a few minutes from the Blue Ridge Parkway and Moses Cone Memorial Park. Also, just a few minutes to downtown Blowing Rock, Tanger shops on the Parkway, Appalachian Ski Mountain and other area ski resorts, Tweetsee Railroad, Appalachian State University in downtown Boone, Grandfather Mountain, and many more. Swiss Mountain Village offers cabins made of rough-hewn logs, complemented by a native stone fireplace. The Swiss chalets feature a unique architectural design. The stairway to the loft actually takes you over the stone fireplace. All of the Swiss Mountain properties are completely furnished with towels, linens, complete kitchens, washers and dryers, gas logs, free Wi-Fi, and cable TV. There's also a clubhouse and outside barbecue. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom plus studio units are available, accommodating from 2 to 8 people. Swiss Mountain Village offers 12 beautiful acres that will become your high country home away from home. It's where you and your family will create great memories and a place where you will return to time and time again. To learn more about Swiss Mountain Village, visit SwissMountain.com or call 888-785-1188.